Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Unscripted and Unchained RPG Review. I am Game Master Bloodworth, or in this case, Dungeon Master Bloodworth, since I will be talking about Dungeons and Dragons. And today's RPGaDay 2024, Day 18. The prompt for today is Memorable Moment of Play. And by far, my greatest memorable moment in recent history. So, really, since 1985 and my meeting with Gary Gygax, my memorable moment was actually meeting Frank Mentzer in person and actually being a player in his game. Unfortunately, I couldn't bring up last January's last January's posting of the game that we played, but I do have this upcoming January's posting. It's the same game, and I will show you that, and then I'll come back and talk a little bit more about that experience. So, so here we have the Philadelphia area game Expo is a great convention. Really enjoyed it last year. It was the same time, I believe, January. Maybe it was 17, 18, and 19. This year is, obviously a day difference. But this was the Tower of Merzent charity game with Frank Mentzer. And, this year I think there's a lot more people. There are 85 tickets available. So it was scheduled for like 100, and there's a lot of people already signed up for next January's game, and hopefully, I am praying that it does happen. Since if you're not aware, Frank Mentzer has some, a pretty significant medical issue. He is suffering with. He is suffering with kidney failure, and he's doing some he's doing some auctions of some of his most prized possessions in his collection in order to raise money. Now, if there's anything in the lines of a GoFundMe that goes up, set up by either Frank or his family, that is certainly something that I will advertise, and I will certainly promote and contribute to as well. But getting back to the moment of play, playing in Frank's game was truly an eye-opening experience as well, because I felt like I was witnessing a true master, game master over a game with the number was 16 players, although we were not all sitting at the table at once. And I was sitting right next to him, as you see in the picture on the front screen. I was sitting right next to him, and while he was running, and I was trying to just pick up, what the mechanics were that he was using, and I believe he was just using two D6s the entire time to determine everything that was occurring, and we were utilizing just the one d20 to determine whether or not we were successful at anything. And we had a very, very simplistic character sheet. I mean, it was basically just the character name, the character race, which actually had no bearing on anything other than just whether or not you could see in darkness or not, and the regular stats, and a hit point and an AC, and that was it. All weapons. It was old school D&D, so all the weapons basically did a D6, but he simplified that even further. And if you hit a target, the target would take damage. You didn't have to roll your damage dice, for that. And, once the target had taken a number of hits that he determined was enough to kill it, it died. If you made any mistake, you died. So it was like if you open the wrong door, you're dead. If you got hit by a powerful creature, you were dead. Um, it was a very fast paced, super enjoyable, adventure that we were running through. We were running through that Tower of Merzent, and it started with 16 players, and only five of us, myself included, actually finished through the adventure. So 11 players were killed, and these were players from as young as their early 20s to as old as I, in my late 50s, and or mid to late 50s at that time. And the just the whole tone of the table was just, everyone was just so excited and literally mesmerized by actually sitting at the table and playing with Frank, and experienced the way that he ran the game, and it was just so flawless and so smooth, and his descriptions of what we were seeing and even feeling and such, his describing of what our characters were experiencing was phenomenal, and the it certainly was. Like I said, short of my very brief meeting once with Gary Gygax in 1985, and I played an Alan Hammock's game back in April of 2023. No, I'm sorry, that came in 2024, so it was after Frank's my experience with Frank. Playing Alan Hammock's game was also great, but Frank's just left that real level of accomplishment. Like I feel like it was a bucket list thing in my hobby experience to have had, and I walked away from it with just such a great experience. My convention last year, or last January, was cut short because of bad weather and everything. So that one day, I had um, I had the opportunity. I sat down with Frank at a table about an hour before his seminar that he was giving, and so it was just he, I, and one other individual sitting at this table, and we just chatted the whole time. That is when I asked him to sign my two copies of Basic and the Expert book here, and and the thing is that Frank actually recognized me. He was like, oh, like, especially once I said Bloodworth, and he was like, oh my gosh, Bloodworth, I'm so glad to meet you, because we've known each other through Facebook and through direct messaging. And even one time I had called him on his personal phone and spoken to him back early on when we first met, and he was working on his Kickstarter. And I was actually in conversations with him quite a bit during that Kickstarter. I was working on a section of his world that he was building, and it was a great honor to do so. And when we finally met, it was, excuse me, getting over the COVID, or trying to. Uh, Hold on. Oh, excuse me. Um, it was just a phenomenal experience to meet him, and then to listen to him on that panel talking about old school TSR, and then and old school gaming in general as well, and then to play in his game thereafter, and then to take that photograph with him and have further conversation with him at that point. It was really the highlight of my convention going back in January. So it was a great experience, and certainly a memorable moment to play for me, one that I will hold on to for the rest of my life. And I'm really, really hoping that Frank is feeling well enough to to go to next January's convention. But if not, I certainly do wish him all the best of health, and hopefully everything goes well and he's with us for many, many more years to come. And again, if there's any kind of a GoFundMe or some other kind of fundraiser for Frank, I will certainly promote it and certainly back it on my channel, because it is something that I feel that we old school gamers, and in some cases new gamers as well, we owe Frank, for his incredible contributions to this hobby, and it's again one of the best moments of my gaming experience. So I will leave it off with that. I'll leave it off with the picture of myself and Frank here, and you know, Frank, best of health. I hope to see you again next January, and I am looking forward to hearing other people's stories on this particular video, where you might have played in that same game with me and Frank, and that would be phenomenal to have you share your experience, as a table mate at the table, and and if you're going to page two this upcoming January, let me know what you're most looking forward to in being in one of his games. So yeah, that's it for now. I know it's kind of a darker tone to this video, but I hope you still enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you on a gaming screen or the gaming table, perhaps at page two in January, sometime soon. You all have a great rest of your day. Take care.